AITA for cutting support for my partner's family out of our budget if she becomes a SAHM. My partner. We are not married or going to get married. And I have been together for 4 years and have a son who is 5 months old. Her employer has a very generous maternity leave of 6 months, as she still has 1 more month of full pay remaining before she has to go back. We are currently dual income, and the agreement before having a kid was that we would remain a dual income household and she would go back to work after her leave. And we would put our son in a daycare near our home. My friend's kids go there and it seems to be excellent. Despite the daycare seemingly being a great fit, my partner is having cold feet about going back to work. She wants to put in her 2 weeks notice upon return and become a SAHM. I really never wanted this situation because the thought of being a sole earner has always been very stressful to me, but she really is wanting this. Now my partner's family is mostly back in South America and she has been sending them money on a monthly basis for as long as I've known her. Anywhere from $5,000 to $2,000 a month. While figuring out if we can make things work on just my income. We are putting together a budget. I have stated that I will agree to her staying home. But I won't be sending her family income from my paycheck every month or at all. I work overtime most weeks and I refuse to work overtime JSUT to send the money out of the country. If I am not going to benefit from the extra work, I'd rather just have more time to relax and be with my son. My partner says this is unfair as her family is very important to her, and she's saying I am being as about it, as I should have known that supporting her family would always be part of her life, and by having a kid with her I basically signed up for that. AITAH for putting my foot down and refusing to ever send them money if she's not contributing to the household income. Since people keep bringing the topic up, I am adding that we are not in a state that recognizes common law marriage or palimony. And we are not going to get legally married. NTA, your wife has to make a choice. Either be a SAHM and her family does without support, or go back to work and continuing to support her family. She is flipping the script. She has to make the sacrifice and decide. NTA. $2,000 a month is a ton of money. You are being fair. If she wants to support an entirely separate family and take from her own family, you and your son, then she needs to earn that income. But I also think you should talk more about how you don't want to be the sole income earner. That stress is valid and she can't just unilaterally decide that you will be. I was the breadwinner for 8 months or so while my husband was laid off and job searching, and I was so anxious. I hated it. NTA. If she becomes a SAHM, which is laudable for your child's welfare, you still have to make ends meet. You are already doing overtime. Your only contribution to your family life can't and shouldn't have to be cash just so she can keep sending money back to her family. You and your son should be her #1 priority. Your son getting to spend time with you is infinitely more valuable, and no matter how much you earn, you can never get the time back. Budgeting is a great idea, but I guarantee your son will blow that out of the water in unexpected ways. Will your health care cover them both if she leaves her job? Will she really want to send money to the family if it's the choice between that or your son's Christmas, birthday gift? Does she know what they spend the money on? Are you doing without to keep a cousin in expensive trainers? Or is she keeping them from the breadline? It's an important nuance. But if it's the latter, then she shouldn't be giving up her job if those are the stakes. This isn't going to be easy op. But you're right to challenge her. Something doesn't add up, and the difference shouldn't come at the expense of your well-being or your relationship with your son. NTA. You two had an agreement. She wants to change the terms of that agreement, which is totally fine and should be an open discussion. However, the reality of the situation is that you can't sacrifice all of your time with your family in order To support her family. You're not an ATM. You're not there just to provide money. If she wants to send money to her family, that has to fit in a budget. A budget that doesn't require you to work yourself to death. NTA. Supporting her family would always be part of her life. Interesting logic. Pressuring you into doing more overtime and spending less time with your infant child somehow counts as her virtuously supporting her family. I think you've found someone who can justify in their own mind anything they want for themselves as obviously the right thing to do. NTA. If her family is so important, then she can continue working to support them. You knew they were part of the deal while she was working. No way I would work my butt off to support her family. NTA. Your partner is being unrealistic. It's because you're a dual-income household that she can afford to send money to her family. NTA. Math is math. Less money in, less money out. NTA. Your agreement together would be that you remain a dual-income household. If she wants to continue supporting her family, she needs to be working for it. Edit. The very cynical side of me wants to say something like the fact that she's had a child with you is not her family back home's ticket. NTA. It sounds like the old bait and switch. She wants to change the agreement but does not like the consequences if it is changed. If you are in the US, she would be making a horrible financial decision for herself if she became a SAHM while not married. She will have zero financial protection for herself if you end the relationship, and meanwhile will not be making any contributions to Social Security or any retirement savings. There are many reasons, beyond your objections, why an unmarried partner should never, ever become a SAHP. NTA. I used to do that for my family when I worked. Once I stopped, I let them know I could no longer give them monthly help, and I don't expect my husband to do so. It wouldn't be fair. If your wife knew that this would always be an expenditure for her, why does she feel it is okay to quit her job? There are a million mothers out there that wish they could be SAHM, but it isn't feasible financially. She has a choice to make. NTA. Wife is trying to have her cake and eat it too. This is not unfair. If she quits, the couple's income is reduced, so less cash to burn by sending it south. She needs to understand that if she wants to continue sending $, she needs to continue working. And she needs to understand that it's not her responsibility to support them. NTA. You didn't sign up for that. You signed up for a two-income household. If she wants to renegotiate to a single income, then everything is on the table. No way should you have to give up time with your son to send money to the rest of her family. No different than that she doesn't want to give up time with him for them. NTA. Supporting her family may have always been an important part of her life, but you did sign up to it being important in your life. It's quite unfair for her to expect you to support your family as in her and your son and support hers as well. She's already going back on the agreement to keep working, so she has no right to expect you to work all those hours away from your family to give it to hers. NTA. I totally understand where she's coming from when she says she doesn't want to go back to work before you meet the baby. It's easy to make plans, but once you meet the baby, it's hard not to become so overprotective that you just can't stand the thought of not being able to protect the kid all day every day, at least until they are older. But it is not your responsibility to financially support her family. If she wants to, when she's a SAHM, once she has taken care of her responsibilities to your nuclear family, then she could consider doing something part-time from home so she can earn money to send back home. Or something like this. NTA. If she wants to financially support her family, great, but that's on her. If she's not working, that line item should be cut from the budget. Info. How much does your GF make at work and how much is daycare? NTA. N. My partner says this is unfair as her family is very important to her. She can show just how important with her decision to go back to work. And by having a kid with her, I basically signed up for that. No, you did not. You signed up to raise a kid with her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.